Well, good evening, everyone. It's so good to have you all here. We are just thankful for our LifeVantage time together tonight with Team Lifetree, and we're super thankful for our guest tonight. She has committed to sharing with us about the invite and follow up, and I'm going to give a little bit of her background. Her name is Holly, and she's from Ada, Michigan. She is a homeschool mom, and she has been a horse trainer and coach for over 30 years. She looks way too young for having done that for 30 years. She became passionate about health and wellness almost 20 years ago when she was pregnant with her daughter, Olivia. And the opportunity to partner with this company came to her 6 years ago. And while it took her a while to jump on board, she has been passionately sharing the information for 5 years now and has become a top leader in the company. Her desire is to see people living their best lives from a health, financial, and spiritual standpoint. I love that, Holly. That's so beautiful. And it's just as an honor to get to know you a little bit. We've been chatting a little bit, and so I'm really excited that you can share with us tonight, and just for your heart to bless us and to help us on our Life Vantage journey. So, Holly, I'm just going to turn the time over to you because I know there's a lot of things going on tonight, and so we're going to get started. We'll do announcements at the end. So, Holly?
Awesome. Thank you, Julie. You guys, I'm so honored to be here. And Julie asked me, I know we had to work hard to coordinate this because everyone's busy, right? So this was the date that worked, and I've been looking forward to it. I get to talk about invites and follow-ups tonight. So I want to start by just saying that the stuff I'm going to share with you tonight, I hope it's going to be really helpful, but I want you to know that it's stuff that I've gleaned. I've got to update my bio, Julie. It's actually, I was invited 7 years ago. It's been 6 years now in the business. I better update that. But over the last 6 years, it's been things that, I've learned from people much wiser than myself. And so this training doesn't come from me. It's by the grace of God, I'm even here and able to do this. And so the people I've been able to learn from and pull this information from and then put my own twist into it, that's what I'm going to share with you tonight. So I don't want you to think that like I have special skills or I have some, just I came up with all this. I didn't. This has been years of just learning and taking notes and putting trainings together for my own team. And so I'm going to share this with you tonight. I'm going to go sort of quick through the slides and information because I really believe that the meat of this, what really is the most important part, is our conversation after. So I want to make sure that I have time to answer your guys' questions while respecting your time, because I told Julie this can go late because I can talk about this stuff all night long and I don't want to do that to you. But I do want to make sure to get through the information, take some notes, ask some questions if you have some at the end. So without any more wasting time. Oh, and I have some of our own team on here too. Julie, thank you for opening it up because we have some newer consultants on our team that wanted to hop on. And so I'm so thankful you could, open this up to them to be on as well. So we appreciate that. Okay, so let me get my screen set up, you guys, here. So hang on just a minute. I should have brought my readers. I am that age where now I need readers. So, there's that. I was so bad. I was adamant about I was not going to break down and use readers, and I had to. It's just the way that it is. All right, can you guys see that okay? Is there that little green box in there? Hang on just a minute. I want to get rid of that green box. 1 second. There we go.
It's great.
Okay, you guys, there we go. Let's get started. So something that you probably already know, but I'm going to say it anyways. Our business does not run on hope, right? Like we can't just sit back and hope it's going to grow. We have to take action. And I know if you're new or if you've been around for a while, sometimes it's just hard to know, how do I reach out? What do I say? What's the right verbiage? And so I think it comes down to just gaining confidence and how to reach out. What does that look like? And we want to do it authentically, you guys. I don't know if you're familiar with Bob Heilig. I love Bob Heilig and his training. If you have not plugged into him, man, he resonates with me. And we want these invites, these conversations to be authentic, right? Not just transactional. It's not just about a customer. It's about the impact that we can have on them. So I think if we can learn to have these conversations be authentic and real and about the people we want to help, it just feels so, so much better. And so that's what I'm hoping tonight we can help you with. But again, this isn't for everybody as far as this component, but a lot of what holds people back is fear. How many of you have new consultants that have never done a thing because they're just afraid to get started, right? They're afraid to do those first reach outs. I've got a lot of them, I'm telling you, and it breaks my heart because if they could just break through that fear, like this opportunity is huge. We know how big this opportunity is. I know what it's done for our family and our life. And I'm just so thankful for that. And I want others to experience the same. But people have this fear of rejection, fear of what other people think, fear of making a mistake and doing it wrong, and the fear of saying the wrong thing. And this fear comes out of this lack of confidence, which is what I said. I hope tonight I can help at least one of you feel a little more confident about what it looks like to reach out. And if you're more confident, you won't have so much fear because fear paralyzes us. When it paralyzes us, it destroys our productivity and it keeps us from fulfilling our purpose. And I do believe that we have a purpose in this company. I think that, we can honor God in all the things that we do. And people think, oh, maybe not at work. Yes, in this business, I feel like I can have an impact on people's lives in the most positive way, but not if I'm going to sit back and be afraid to talk to people. So we can't fulfill our purpose if we're sitting there in fear, and it's usually born out of fear of what other people are going to think. So this is step number one. I had to learn this, you guys. I really did. I promise you. When I started this, it felt so weird to share because I was being compensated for sharing, and I just could not, I just had this roadblock. And this is what I heard. I'm a praying person, right? And this is what I heard. It was like, this is not about you. And if I could just remember that every day that this was not about me, it's about the impact we can have on other people, then it makes it so much easier when it's about them to go and share. So we have to stop that inward thinking, right? The worst invite you can ever do is the one you don't do. That's the worst invite. It's the one you never get out there. So I do believe people are praying for what we have from a financial standpoint, from a health standpoint. So we have to share and remember this. When you don't invite someone, you're making the decision for them. That's not fair. We don't get to do that. You have to give everybody a chance to say yes. They might say no, might be not now, but you have to give everybody the chance to say yes. I think that is so important. So here's some tips first, just some basic tips. And I'm going to add to this because honestly, since I put this training together for my team a while back, there's some things that I've tweaked myself. But first is know your prospect. You have to know, and we hate the word prospect. You guys, I hate that word. We were trying to come up with a different word in our team. We were like, potential people you help, or, I don't have another word. So it's still prospect, but that just seems like a weird, I don't know. It's very transactional to me, but you got to know your people. You got to know who you're reaching out to, and you're going to know that by listening to them. So you have to be a really good listener. So you have to know who you're reaching out to, and you have to know your goal. And here's the thing, this might surprise you. Your goal is not to enroll somebody. That's not the goal. Your goal on an invite is simply to filter out the people who are open and those who aren't. Doesn't that take some pressure off? If you're just like, my invite isn't to get a customer or a business partner, your invite is just to filter out those who are open to learning more about what we have. When you can filter them out, then you can move forward. So your invite is just a filtering system. That's it. Then know what you have to offer. We have a lot of things to offer, but you have to know your prospect to know what they need. Do they need gut health? Do they need brain health? They need heart health? Do they need a business opportunity because their financial health is just stressing them out and stressing their families out? So know what we have to offer and what's going to best help them. And keep the invite short. Oh, women, ladies, we're talkers. My husband tells me all the time, land the plane. Men, you land the plane. Most of you, right? Women, we circle the planes. We like to tell stories and we like conversation. Keep your invites really short. People are busy. And if they see a long message, they're probably not going to be very interested. My new invite, you guys, I'll give you an example of what I just did. Well, my son's in karate. I'm watching him, but I'm doing my business, right? My invite lately is, I do a greeting. I talk to them just briefly about how they're doing. But then I'm like, I have a quick question for you. Is now a good time to send it over? That's it. Are they open to me asking them a question? Is now a good time? Can I get their attention for 5 minutes? That is my invite. And then I've got, more for them. Obviously, if they say, yay, now's a good time or tomorrow night or whatever, but keep it short, a few sentences, you guys, for your invite. We'll give you some concrete examples of that in just a minute. And then use the tools. I don't know what tools you guys like to use as a team. I know the ones that we like to use, but we all have our favorite tools. When they ask what it is or they're asking questions, use the tools. I tell the team, be the librarian, not the library. The librarian just points people to where the resources are, right? They show them where to find things. So go help them to find the tools, share the tools, but don't be the information. People's eyes will glaze over and they're not going to pay attention to what we have if we talk too much. Talk a little, listen a lot. I used to just the opposite. I was the talker. I wanted to just vomit information. Oh my gosh, I was so excited. We had these studies and we have, these patents and this company is debt free and we're publicly traded. And I was giving him all this stuff. Talk a little, but listen a lot. Be the one asking the questions. Getting good at asking questions is really important. So here's some samples, okay? Just examples and tweak this to make them your own. But yeah, screenshot them, whatever you have. I'm happy to share this training with you guys. I can send you the PowerPoint if you want to, right? But just some examples, some really short invites. So look at the first one. I have to tell you about something I'm super excited about. When do you have 20 minutes to talk? I love that invite. That's kind of what I'm doing right now. I just want to ask them, when can I have a couple minutes of your time? I just started my own business and it's going to help a lot of people with their health and finances. If I send you a short video, will you take a look at it? And then look at this, in case you know someone who'd love to benefit from the information, right? That's kind of like that indirect invite. Okay, I'm sending the message to you, but I'm doing it because you might know someone. There's no pressure on you, the person I'm reaching out to, but you might know somebody. There's no pressure in that invite. Or the third one, you have to see what I've been learning about and the impact it's having in the health field. It's too important not to share with you. When can we get together? Almost all of these we're making them about the other person, right? I'm excited. I want you to be excited. I have information. I want you to have information. I want you to benefit like I'm benefiting. So those are just a couple examples. And again, tweak those and make them your own so it sounds like you. Now we've got your warm market, right? We've got cold market. We did friends and family. So those first invites were people that you know very well. So they're very casual. What about your warm market? Like they're not as close as friends and family, but they're still people that you talk to fairly often. They're just not inside that super close friends and family circle. So here's an example for a warm market invite. First of all, relate to them, right? Make it personal. Always use their name. Let them know why you're reaching out, especially go to cold market. They're going to want to know who you are. This is a Ray Higdon thing, right? They want to know who you are. What do you want? The third part, do they know you? Cold market, they may not even know you. So you got to answer those questions for them. But here's an example. Hi, Cindy. I know you're very proactive in your health. So I've given her the why. I've been learning about something that is very cutting edge, and I thought of you. Who doesn't want to be thought of? It may or may not interest you. No worries either way, but I think you'll appreciate the info like I did. If I send a short video, will you take a look? Try to always end your invite with a question. And I love the if I, will you. If I send you a short video, will you watch it? If I invite you to a Facebook group, will you accept, right? Like do the if I, will you, so it ends in a question. Some variations of that. Hi, Cindy, I know you've been struggling with fatigue and not feeling your best, right? You're reaching out and telling her, why did you think of them? I know you love natural health like I do. I know you've been looking for ways to help your son. These are things that tell people that you've been paying attention, you've been listening, and you care. So it gets very personal. This is not transactional. This is you providing a solution, a possible solution if they're open to learning more. Here's a business invite for warm market. Hi, Cindy, I know things have been tight for you. Why do we know that? Because we've been listening, right? And that's causing a lot of financial stress. I found a way to create additional income for our family. It may or may not be for you. No worries either way. But if additional income would be helpful to you, it's worth taking a look at. If I get you the link to an online event tonight, would you be interested in learning more? Would you, right at the end, you're telling them why you thought of them. Wouldn't you guys feel good if somebody sent this to you? Like they've been paying attention, right? Whether it's you've had a sick kiddo or spouse, or you've been dealing with something, or you've shared with someone that like the budget is stressing you out, and they come back with this. It's very personal and authentic. If they say yes, here's some things to remember. Don't just send information. I always teach this to my team. When I learned this, and this just came to me. I don't know how. I think it's because I like to be wordy. And I'm a writer too. Like I love to write. I had to learn to be very concise in my invites. If I'm texting or messaging someone, I had to narrow it down. And so the rule I came up with for myself was this: don't answer questions not asked, and don't send information not asked for. How often someone say yes and we're just like, blah, and we just send them we send the entire library of information to them, right? Pump the brakes a little bit and get more details on what might suit them best. So don't just send a ton of information. A 2-minute video's fine, right? Invite them to a Facebook group and tag them in a couple things. That's fine, but don't overload them with info. So don't just send it. Find a time they can watch the video. So if someone says, yes, I'll watch the video, what's your next question? When is a good time for you to watch it? Set the appointment. That used to be so hard for me. Set the appointment. Eric Worre's big on that. I hated that. Set the appointment. Ugh. Sounded way too formal. But if I'm going to send a video, do I want to getting lost in their messenger or their texts? I want to know when they're going to watch it. And if they say send it anytime, guess what? I'm not sending it. And I'll tell them why. I'll say, listen, I love that you're open to watching this. I don't want it to get lost in your inbox. It's too important. So you just let me know when you've got a couple minutes and I'll send it your way. Ooh, that sounds important, right? Like it's okay to withhold a little bit. And your posture is excellent when you get to do that. So it kind of makes them lean into you, and that's what we want. Find a time they can meet, a time they can watch the video, or a time that they can talk. Don't just send everything their way. Okay, go into cold market. I had to go into cold market a few years ago and it sucked. I hated it. It felt so horrible. I'm getting better at it. I'm learning, but it's because I'm really adamant about creating some type of relationship first. And Ray Higdon, I love Ray Higdon too, but man, he's all about just like go right in and ask the question. That just doesn't feel right to me. I have people on my team who are amazing at that. They're so good at it. It didn't feel right. I tried and it didn't feel like me. So I have to kind of back it up, develop a relationship first, at least have some conversations, and then I'll go ahead and ask them. But here's the 3 things that Ray Higdon says they need to know. Do they know you? Why did you think of them? And what do you want? So when you get to the invite for a cold market, those are the things you need to make sure that they know. Okay, and here's some examples for you. Hi, Debbie, I know we don't know each other. First question asked, but I see you are a personal trainer. Now she knows why we're reaching out. What I do has been a great fit for a lot of trainers, and I wondered if you'd be open to taking a look. It may or may not interest you. No worries either way. Are you open to learning more? Answers all 3 of those questions, right? Hi, Katie. I know we don't know each other, but I see you are a horse trainer like myself. I started a business 5 years ago that has proven to be a great fit for those of us in the horse community. It may or may not be for you. See a theme here. I use this lingo a lot. But if you keep your income options open, you can take a look and decide if it's something you'd like to learn more about. If it's not for you, you may know someone it would be a great fit for. If I send you a short video, we would take a couple minutes to learn more. Now that's a little bit longer of an invite, but it's cold market. So I'm giving a little bit more of an explanation there. Okay, so if we're going to do the invites, you have to do the follow-ups. I know follow-ups are easy for you guys or hard for you guys. I love follow-ups. I can sit and do follow-ups. I've told my husband, if you put me in a hotel for a weekend, I can do invites and follow-ups all weekend long. I'd barely come up for air. I love this part of our business. Some of you are like, ugh, I don't like this part of the business, but it's how we grow. If you're going to invite people and you don't get good at your follow-up, you've wasted your time. I promise you, if you're going to take the time to do your invites and not be really good at your follow-ups, you're wasting your time. Don't do that to yourself. Plus, it feels very disingenuous to someone that you did invite. If there's no follow-up, even if they didn't respond, they probably read it. Life is busy, right? They got doing things. And then they look back at your message. They're like, well, that was weird. They never really followed up. They didn't hear back from me. Don't be afraid to follow up. And you can do things like this. Ask, how do you feel about what you've seen so far? I don't ever ask what they think. Thinking is here, feeling is here. People don't join you or buy from you based on logic. They do it because of how they feel. So ask people, how do they feel about what they've seen so far? That's provided they've seen a video or an overview, or they're part of a wellness community, right? They've seen something. Ask them how they feel about it. Try not to ask yes or no questions. Instead, maybe ask, what's the next step for you? What information would be most helpful? Or go for the big ask. Are you ready to start benefiting from these products? Who's that about? Are you ready to start benefiting from it's about them, right? You're still making it about them. You're thinking about them, and they're going to feel that if you can follow up that way. Here's some more examples. How did you feel about the information shared in the video? Pretty exciting to know we can impact our health in such a powerful way. Or, I'm so glad you were able to learn more tonight. What stood out to you the most about this opportunity? I'm so glad you're looking into this information. What questions can I answer for you? Most of those should feel to the person you're reaching out to pretty personal, like it's still about them. You're still there to serve them and help them. This has never happened to you guys, I know, where you've reached out and not gotten anything back, right? That's never been ghosted. It's just me. We get ghosted all the time. I'm doing some intense invites to you guys right now. I'm really working hard towards EC2, and I'm trying to do this whole like 20 and 30 thing, and it's intense. And I know, right, 6 years in, like there's going to be this much that responds and this much that doesn't. And we just know that. So set your expectations properly so you're not disappointed and feeling defeated. But if they don't respond, here's some follow-ups that you can use for them. Hey, Sarah, I know we're all busy. You may not be ready to look at this info, or maybe you've decided you're not interested. How about if I periodically check in and keep you in the loop? Does that sound fair? It's about them. You're just meeting them where they're at. Sometimes if you say, I haven't heard back, maybe you're too busy, it's not a good time. They're like, no, no, no. They might lean in a little bit more. Or, hi, friend, I'm going to assume you're really busy, so I haven't heard back from you. I just want to be sure you get this information. It is that good. Do you have 3 minutes to check out this video? Hey, I know life is busy, and I promise I'm not trying to be a pain in your butt. I say this all the time, you guys. Bring a little humor and be you. This is how I talk to people. If I didn't know how important this information was, I wouldn't follow up with you. I don't want to assume you aren't interested, but I also don't want to waste your time or mine. Would you like me to keep you in the loop or take you off my follow-up list? Oof, nobody wants to be taken off the follow-up list unless they're just really, really not interested. That's only happened like a handful of times in 6 years. They'd be like, yes, take me off the list. Or if you were serious about making a change, we should really talk about this opportunity for you. If somebody has said something to you about their health or their finances, and they're venting and they're frustrated, and you know that they're hurting, yet they don't follow up with you or respond to you, that's okay to say, hey, were you serious about what you said? Or, maybe you don't feel that way anymore. It's okay to say that. And some final tips here, just to keep these things in mind. Minimum effort will never produce maximum results. Minimum effort will never produce. So don't compare. Some of us can only do a bare minimum every day. Life is going on. That's okay. But don't compare your results with someone who's doing 30 invites a day if you're doing 1 a week, right? Be realistic about it. Be intentional in your invites and consistent in your follow-ups. I need a t-shirt that says, I say it all the time, be intentional in your invites. Remember, we're not running the business on hope. We got to take action, and be very consistent in your follow-ups. And I say follow up until they tell you to go away. We need to, because the information is too important. It can't be about what they think about us. And again, bring humor. I tell people, I promise you, I don't want to be a pain in your butt. I promise I don't want to be that person. And if now's not a good time, that's okay. Just let me know. No worries. But I'm going to follow up till you tell me not to, right? Have the posture. Get them to lean into you. Ask the right questions. Don't be afraid of a takeaway. Get them to lean into you so you're not leaning into them all the time. Don't answer questions not asked, or give info not asked for. We already covered that. Try to end your messages with a question. It's always helpful. Even on a phone call, you guys, be the question asker and then listen. Get really good. Don't talk at them. Listen to them and then ask the good questions. Marry the process, divorce the results. You guys, especially new people, it's so hard. They can feel so defeated if they're not getting results right away. Don't overpromise, underdeliver to your new business partners, you guys, or if you're sharing the information. It's a business. It works if they do. It's not overnight success. Prepare them, set them up to succeed by being realistic in the expectations, and tell them they will have to marry the process, divorce the results. They will feel drastically underpaid in the beginning and ridiculously overpaid later. I'm ridiculously overpaid, you guys. I love what I do, but this company pays me, they pay me way more than I work every day, but it's like, it's crazy. It's there. Keep doing what you're doing to the point you're on the other side of the hill and you are being overpaid for the amount of time you put in. And then this, I got to stick on this one just for a second. Assume positive intent. This will help you not get so frustrated. If you send a message and somebody doesn't respond to you, don't assume they think you're crazy. They don't like you. You've irritated them. Oh my gosh, like they're just like all these thoughts. No, assume positive intent. They are busy. Life has happened. They've got stuff going on. We don't even know what's going on in people's lives half the time. If you can always assume that positive intent in people, the follow-up is easier and it will come across in your follow-up. And it just changes the way we see people. Assume they're doing their best. They didn't mean to ignore your message. Always, always assume positive intent. And I firmly believe this. You've been planted here and it's your time to grow. This business is an absolute vehicle to your calling and a way to help and serve thousands of people, you guys. We have such a gift to share. So I encourage you to go be a blessing. Don't be shy about this. It's hard at first. It's hard later. But we owe it to others to go out there and do this for them and help them out. Okay, there's my slides. I don't know how long I took, but I hope that was helpful. I'd love to try to answer questions the best I can. I don't have all the answers, but I can share what, I've experienced. So I'm going to stop talking for a minute. Thank you though for letting me share. I appreciate it. Thank you, Julie.
That was excellent, Holly. We really appreciate it. You said so many good things. I have notes, and those slides were really, really helpful.
Thank you.
So I would love a copy of those if you don't mind sharing them. They were great.
For
So
sure.
I appreciate you taking a few minutes for questions. If somebody has a question, go ahead and type it in the chat or unmute yourself and share your question. I love so many things you've shared. And I also especially really like that last statement about assuming positive intent, because it's so many times, honestly, so many times I was thinking, oh, they're just trying to avoid me or whatever. And come to find out that, it's like you said, they were just busy. They had something going on or they didn't even see the message. Sometimes it looks like people saw the message. And that happened to me today. It looked like somebody saw the message and they were like, oh, I'm just seeing this message now. And, so it's not always like we think or how it appears. So thank you so much. Does anybody have a question? If not, I have one question.
I do, Julie, when you get a chance, either before or after.
Go ahead, Cindy.
I've got a lot of horse owners around me, Holly, and I'm just wondering if you have anything specific about approaching them. I don't know them really well. I need to go visit them.
Yeah, Cindy, are you a horse person yourself too, or
I am not a horse person, but yeah. But I have a lot of horsies in this area, and I'm like looking at them. So
no, I love that. It'd be different if you were in the community, how you approach them versus someone who's not, right? So it's a little different. And you don't have to be part of the horse community to do this. It's like I walk into a doctor's office. I'm not a doctor, right? Or a personal trainer. So I'm not a trainer. So you could totally do it. One of the best things I think you can say is when you're approaching someone in the horse community is use other people's story to say something like, listen, I know that you're a big part of the horse community. And so many others in this community are benefiting from what I do or what I'd love to share with you. And you can say vets, trainers, chiropractors, farriers, right? You can use like the people that are in the equine community because we have all of those part of this company, all of them. So you can say there's a lot of vets that are part of our company, a lot of farriers, a lot of whatever, but let them know that this is a big deal in the equine community. And you think that they could benefit as well if they're open to learning more.
Okay.
Thank
you.
Yeah, making it clear that like they're like when I talk to another horse trainer, I let them know other trainers, this has been a good fit for them. So, and
Okay.
then if you can find information, I know in our wellness community for our team, we have information on horses and how oxidative stress impacts them. So getting them in a wellness community and sharing information there is often helpful too. And feel free to reach out to me. I'm happy. You can say, hey, my friend Holly's a trainer in Michigan, and you've got to hear what's been happening with horses, and let me share with them.
Okay. Thank you so much.
I have a question about the cold calls.
Yes, Tracy.
I have I really want to reach out to some of the dermatologists in the Topeka area, especially with obviously our skincare line. And I was just wondering what you suggest as far as what kind of information to give to them on that kind of a cold call, and what kind of follow-up to do.
That's a really good question. And there's no magic formula, but I'll tell you what we've been doing. And I love this question. I've recently started some of the leaders in our large team. We've committed Wednesdays to being the day that we take a couple hours and we literally go walking into businesses. Scary?
Yeah.
Not comfortable, right? But it's learning again, if we can be confident with how we're going to share the information. So whether it's a phone call, Tracy, or you're going in person, something that Brandon Cunningham said I think is really helpful is if you can walk into someone's office or place of work or call them and say something like, if I could show you how to increase your revenue without increasing your overhead, would you be open to learning more?
Oh, that's good.
Because there's no overhead with this, right? So if they know that you could show them how they could earn thousands of dollars a month without increasing their overhead, no product inventory, nothing to handle, that's usually pretty compelling. And when they say, what is it? Then you set up an appointment. I'd love to tell you more, like, when do you have 30 minutes we can get together? That's kind of the magic question that we've found is really helpful.
Yeah, if I go to an office, I'm going to be speaking to a secretary.
Yeah, and so then you have to say, typically if you walk into somewhere, you have to ask, hey, is there, like I've done this with right in town, we have a lot of skincare places and estheticians like that. It's going in saying, oh my gosh, I've never been in here before. I love it in here. If I wanted to speak to someone in charge, who would that be and when could I do that? Right.
Okay.
So you do want to get someone, a manager or someone else that can I have a Pilates studio next to me. I don't do Pilates. I run and do other things, but I walked into one of my Wednesdays, walked into the Pilates studio, never been in there. Oh my gosh, this place is amazing. I've never been in here before. I don't know if you guys are interested in this, but like this company I'm with, like they have this product and I'd love to share the information with you guys. Do you ever hold like events here? And they were like, yes. Oh my gosh, let's set something. They didn't even know what we did. She's like, yes, let's get an event on the book. So you just never know. A lot of people are going to say no, and that's okay. Remember,
Yeah.
you're filtering. You're just.
Okay. That's helpful. Thank you.
Hey, you're welcome.
Anybody else?
Yeah, I had a question. It's Dan, Julie. Following up on Tracy's question, if you go into a business and then you talk to them, do you give them your business card or what kind of information do you give them?
Yeah, definitely you want to get their information, right? You can give them yours and also get theirs if at all possible. And I'm still kind of perfecting this formula. We've got people on the Brandon's team that have been doing this and they're doing so good. Shayla De Leon from Puerto Rico, she's got like a whole portfolio she puts together with like photos she can share when she presents the information. I don't have all that yet, right? So I still rely on a video or even our wellness community. But yes, Dan, I would definitely get their information, go ahead and give your information. But the biggest thing is you want to get an appointment. You want to get an appointment. When can you sit down and actually have some time with them? And then whether you're doing a presentation or your upline can help you with their presentation, you can Zoom them in, whatever it looks like. We've got what's called push play videos. Has corporate been talking about that? I don't know if it's like a TBC team thing. We got those push play videos, right? Those are fantastic. You can just share those initially and then see if they're interested in learning more with a more in-depth presentation. So I love to give my information, but even more so, I want their information.
I have a question. This is Bonnie. I did this. I got an appointment. I had a 30-minute appointment with a lady who owns a wine tasting place and Savor the Flavor. And she would like us to have an event there. And I, my question is, do we open this to the public or do we only invite specific people that I know that may be interested? We're talking about having a sip and glow party on a Thursday night, and we're going to have some blueberry antioxidant blueberry wine also to sip along with the liquid collagen. So we just need to go ahead and set it up on a Thursday night in August is what we've already talked about. So give me some ideas.
I love that. We loved our sip and glows, and we called them collagen and cocktails. That was the event that we hosted several times. We rented a little mini bar. We had our friend making blended drinks, you know, with alcohol, without alcohol, whatever people wanted. We had live music. Like, we had some really fun events here. I'm blessed with a great local team. But Bonnie, I would say totally up to you and the owner of the venue, or who would kind of be the host. Are they comfortable opening this up to the public, or getting your team, if you have a team, like inviting to this from a local standpoint? You know, the more the merrier, in my opinion. So to me, there's that excitement that comes from a room. We love standing room only, like pack the place and get standing room only. It's not as personal that way. You don't get the one-on-one time. So I think you have to decide what's best for you and the person willing to host. Do they prefer a smaller gathering where they're at? Or are they okay with bringing in the big group and making it a big woo-ha?
Thank you.
I like big. I like big. I think it's fun. The energy is great, but I also have loved some of my favorite events have been in a room, a living room with 5 people. Right? And been the best events with 5 people. So there's no right or wrong. I think just find out the feel and the vibe you want it to have.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome.
I have one question. I jumped in the tail end of this, Holly. I've heard you speak before because I was just finishing up riding lessons. So so the barn that I'm at, I heard you say that you've done presentations for, you know, the equine community. The barn that I'm at in Alabama, there's 50 horses at this barn with God knows all different kinds of challenge. Now, would that be something that you have like a presentation that's specifically for that?
Yeah, that's a great,
that's
a great question. Yeah, and I'm happy to share anything we put together. We've done a lot at different barns. I was first getting started. We have a vet that lives, this neighbor of mine. She's part of my team, and we've done events with her and our equine chiropractor. And so I have formulated a presentation that does focus on horses and dogs. That being said, the first like third of the presentation is just like it would be for anyone else, because the information for us is the same as it is for our animals. Then I have some specific slides that are, you know, how it relates to horses, what it looks like, what's actually like in a horse versus what it looks like in a person. And so there's a few slides that talk about the animal part of it. But then what I found is really helpful is, like, in a Zoom situation, I'll bring on like another equine person. Bonnie Heath hopped on my last presentation I did. I'm happy to share that with you guys. You want to see the replay of that, I can give that to you. And he comes in and gives his deal. So it's not just me talking. If it's an in-person event at a barn, you may not have that. Yes, I do have some slides that make it more personal to the horse health and the dog health. But most of it is the same stuff I present all the time.
Okay. No, that's good to know. Yeah. So.
Yeah, they're fun. And horse people, you know, animal people, they'll do stuff for their animals they won't do for themselves. And they see the results and like, well, I think I need this too. So like, it's okay to start with the horses and the dogs.
Yes. No, good. Thank you. Yeah. Good.
I have a little bit of a different question that I guess it kind of goes with that. There's a woman here east or west of Topeka who has camels. And I've spoken to her about it. She's out of the country half the time. But would your presentation be effective for something like that?
So first of all, I love camels. I threatened my husband I was going to buy a camel. He was like,
Ooh, yeah.
he loves me, but he's like, no. And they're expensive. Like I
Yes.
actually was online searching for camels, you guys, and because I love camels. He's like, stop it. We have like 60 plus horses on the property. We're like, we're not doing a camel. And he was right. I don't need a camel. But that being said, the best thing I can tell you is that we know that animals have, multiple times higher levels of oxidative stress. And so all of the videos that we have for people, all the presentations out there, you can simply tell them this applies to the camels just like it does to people, and even more so because their oxidative stress levels are so much higher. So if it benefits people this way, just imagine how it's going to benefit your animals. And because I don't know of anything specific to camels, right? Yeah. But I just tell people that whatever animals they have, if it's cattle, if it's horses, if it's dogs, if it's sheep, we have people with pigs and they're on the products, right? Like it benefits all mammals. If we're breathing oxygen, we need this product. And that's what I tell people.
Good. Awesome. Well, we're taking up a lot of your time here. I see one question in the chat.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
Okay. Yeah.
I meant to come back to that. Favorite tools. Yeah, I love that. And this is very helpful. And when you have new people on your team, I highly recommend share your favorite tools with them. They can find their own over time, but make sure they know what to send. And so my favorite tools, if I'm not going to use the push play video, right, that corporate just put out, the new one, the intro to activation, I love that video, but I still use the ABC primetime video. I still use it. And we have a combination video. It's like, we call it the NRF2 Science ABC video. So I don't know if the company put that out or I don't know where it came from, but I love that because it's got the clip of the ABC primetime along with some of the NRF2 Science is kind of merged together. That's still a go-to video for me as well.
Can you put that in the chat by chance? I had seen that some years ago and then somehow I lost track of that. And
yeah, let me try to share it with you, Julie, in our messenger, and see if the format I have it in can be shared. Hopefully it can be.
Yeah, because I was looking for that actually on YouTube a while back and I wasn't able to find it. And I really like that one also. I think it's a really good one.
And it's short, right? People have very short attention spans. And so it's a short video. If we can leave them wanting more, it's always a good thing. So just sending them little bits at a time and make them have questions and want more information. That's what we want to do. Don't dump stuff on them because they're not going to look at it if we do that.
Good. Okay. Yeah. If you put that there, then I can share that. And Christy is also saying that she would love to see, I believe she's asking for the presentation with horses and dogs.
Yeah, I'll share that with you guys for sure. And then I know Nina was asking anyone to set up at horse shows, give information. I will tell you that I do not go to a horse show. In fact, I'm leaving tomorrow for a horse show up north in Michigan for a week with my daughter. And I've already got collagen packed, Axio packed, and I have like postcard business cards. They're ready to go because horse people need Axio. They definitely need NRF2. And a lot of them love the collagen when they try it. So samples are always good to have, Nina. And then I do have a consultant on the east side of Michigan. She barrel races and her and her niece go to barrel racing competitions. And she does set up like a little table with some information. So you can totally do that. It's all about finding the people who are open.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Holly, you have just added so much value to our team tonight. We just really appreciate you taking the extra time too and answering all the questions. And we have this recorded so we can go back and, glean even more information from it. So you're such a sweetheart. Awesome. We just really appreciate, you
thank you.
being the leader that you are and, all that you're doing here tonight. So
well, I appreciate you guys letting me come on and share. Like I really do love it. I've been learning. I'm still learning. I'm learning every day, like training after training after training, right? And keep learning. And so if we can help everyone else, that's what we're supposed to be doing. So thank you for giving me the chance to do that, Julie. I appreciate it. Thanks you guys for hopping on.
Thank you, Holly.
Yes,
Yeah, thanks, Holly.
You're very welcome. Julie, remind me in our
This
chat.
was
so I don't
great.
forget. Just remind me the things you want me to send, right? Like the overview of the horses and the link. And so I'll forget otherwise.
Thank you, Holly. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
Thanks. You guys have a great rest of your night. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Holly.
Welcome. Bye-bye.
Okay, we just have a couple of minutes here. I'm hoping that everybody has seen your Monday Momentum email. There's a lot of information on there that you want to go over. Does anybody have anything specific they want to share tonight as far as an announcement? Hope you're all registered for the market event that's coming up. That's coming up soon. They have rooms where we can reserve a room for that. Make sure you're registered for that. That's very exciting. New product being launched there. Debbie, did you want to share anything about the new reward program? Hello? Seem to have. Are you guys all here? Can you hear me?
Yes.
I think Debbie
I
checked
don't-
out.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't see her anymore.
All right. Well, there's a new reward program, so you might want to familiarize yourself with that. And I see that it's on the Monday Momentum email. And then Skip Campbell has a meeting tonight, I think at the top of the hour here.
Oh,
Anybody else have something they want to announce? No? Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining tonight. Thank you for taking the extra time. Hope you found it helpful. Did you have something, Jerry? Are you waving goodbye?
nope. Just waving goodbye. Thanks.
I have
So,
one quick
Julie, are you
question.
going to share those in Team Lifetree or?
Yeah, I will get all the information out to everybody.
Okay,
Yeah,
great. Thank you.
welcome. Did you say you have a question, Rhino?
Yeah, I did. They were talking about this push play video. Holly was talking about how she had this, the company's put out this push play video on intro to activation. What is that?
Well, we will put that also. I'm trying to. I know that is that the one that came out during the activate.
Oh,
Hey,
I think
Julie,
so.
if you go to your app and just type in the library, just type push play, those videos pop up.
Okay, good. That's a good way to find them. They're probably
thanks,
on.
Carol.
I would think they'd be on the hub as well.
Probably.
Great. Okay, just go to your app. All right. Anybody else have a question, comment? All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. And we will next week we are having Mark and Chris to share with us. So blessings to you all. Have a great week.
Thank you, Julie.
Good night.